Under a merciless sun, the desert wind lashes, creating a harsh landscape of blinding glare and endless dunes. Saul, weathered and stern, advances through the barren expanse, his rough-spun clothing a stark contrast to the sand. He leads his zealots onward, their figures small against the immensity of the desert. Each step is a testament to their unwavering determination. The battlefield roils as Saul surveys the scene, his face a mask of fury and resolve. Saul's imposing figure cuts through the chaos, a beacon of unyielding command. His voice booms across the field, a declaration of war and divine retribution. Close ranks, we bring Jerusalem's judgment to these heretics. Saul's command echoes. Under the relentless desert sun, zealots march, their grim faces set against the shimmering heat waves. Swords glint, reflecting the harsh light as they advance. A relentless tide across the arid landscape. Dust devils dance around their feet, mirroring the fervor in their hearts. The horizon wavers, a mirage of hope or despair, as they continue their unwavering march. The desert stretches endlessly, a canvas of sand under an unforgiving sun. Without warning, a blinding light pierces the sky, searing the landscape. Horses rear up in primal fear, their piercing shrieks echoing across the barren expanse. Men cry out, their voices lost in the sudden cataclysm of light and sound. Terror grips the desert as the blinding light dominates all. The horses collapse, and the men panic. Saul tumbles from his horse, the impact jarring him. A cloud of dust rises around him. He hits the parched earth with a thud, the wind knocked out of him. The desert sun beats down mercilessly, its harsh light intensifying the scene. He struggles to sit up, squinting against the sun's glare. The vast, unforgiving desert stretches out before him, an endless expanse of sand and sky. An all-consuming light erupts, blinding and absolute, dominating the screen, source unseen. The intensity grows, searing the senses, pushing back the darkness with its holy fire. A voice booms from the light, resonating with power and sorrow. The voice echoes, filled with divine authority. Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? The light pulsates, a celestial question hanging in the air, challenging the depths of Saul's soul. Under the relentless sun, Saul claws desperately at the scorching desert ground, his face contorted in disorientation. Grains of sand slip through his fingers as he futilely attempts to shield his eyes from the blinding glare. The vast expanse of the desert stretches endlessly around him, an unforgiving landscape of heat and desolation. A palpable sense of dread fills the air as the sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting long, ominous shadows. Darkness descends swiftly, swallowing the desert in an inky blackness, leaving Saul utterly alone and vulnerable. In the heart of shadows, a solitary figure stands, cloaked in mystery as the air vibrates with raw energy. The atmosphere pulses, an anticipation of untold power. A voice cuts through the charged silence, seeking answers in the gloom. Who are you, Lord? Saul's question hangs in the air, unanswered. Silence descends, broken only by an unseen presence. A voice echoes, disembodied and resonant. The air crackles with an unseen energy. I am Jesus, the voice declares, filled with divine authority. Whom you are persecuting, the voice finishes, leaving a chilling question hanging in the air. In stark isolation, Saul kneels on bare ground, his figure framed by an ethereal light descending from above. The light intensifies, casting long, dramatic shadows that emphasize Saul's solitude and vulnerability. His head is bowed, his posture reflecting a deep sense of supplication and desperate hope. Saul's voice breaks the silence, echoing in the empty space. Lord, what do you want me to do? The camera focuses on his face, capturing the raw emotion and fervent plea in his eyes. The light shimmers, as if in response, leaving Saul suspended between worlds, awaiting his destiny. In the stark expanse, Silence is shattered by a disembodied voice, its origin unknown and unsettling. The voice resonates, commanding attention. Go to Damascus. An urgent directive hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken implications and veiled purpose. There you will be told, the voice concludes, leaving a chilling sense of anticipation. The desert sky bleeds into twilight as the sun vanishes, plunging Saul into sudden, enveloping darkness. A collective gasp rises from his men, their faces mirroring shock and disbelief in the fading light. Urgent hands reach out, silhouettes against the darkening horizon, as they rush to help Saul to his feet. Confusion clouds their expressions, a silent question hanging heavy in the desert air. What just happened? Blinding light engulfs Saul on the road, his world dissolving into pure, searing white. Saul cries out, his hands flailing uselessly as darkness descends, a stark contrast to the previous light. His men, faces etched with confusion and fear, struggle to maintain their grip on the now blinded Saul. Stumbling, Saul is led onward, his steps uncertain as his men guide him towards the distant city. Damascus shimmers in the distance, a beacon of hope and destiny for the tormented Saul. The group slowly advances, the weight of Saul's mysterious affliction heavy in the desert air. The Damascus streets buzz with life. Exotic spices scent the air as merchants shout and children laugh. Goats bleat through the narrow passageways, their sounds swallowed by the city's vibrant noise. Led through the throng, Saul's face is an impassive mask, his thoughts concealed. Each step deeper into the city obscures his past, his future a mystery. The city pulses around him, indifferent to the silent drama unfolding within Saul. Inside a humble dwelling, light streams through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Ananias kneels, his posture reflecting deep reverence and supplication. His face, etched with lines of worry, tells a story of inner turmoil and weighty responsibility. The room is Spartan, yet filled with a sense of peace amidst the evident concern. Sunlight catches the worn fabric of his robes as he bows his head in silent prayer. A palpable tension hangs in the air, a silent plea echoing in the stillness of the dwelling. A booming voice reverberates through the unknown location, shaking the very foundations. The disembodied voice commands, "Ananias, go to Straight Street." The voice continues, its tone urgent and commanding. "Find Saul of Tarsus." The final directive echoes, laden with destiny. He is praying. In an unknown location, Ananias recoils, his eyes wide with fear. His body trembles, overwhelmed by disbelief and terror. Ananias stares, fixated on an unseen figure, his face pale. "Lord, this man is a persecutor," he cries, his voice cracking. Doubt and desperation fill Ananias' eyes as he pleads. His words hang in the air, a stark warning against the light. An unsettling silence hangs heavy, the air itself seeming to vibrate with an unseen energy. The very stillness screams of a force beyond comprehension, a moment pregnant with anticipation. Something watches, waits, as if the laws of nature are bent to an unknown will. A presence looms, unseen yet palpable, its influence weaving through the very fabric of reality. From the void, a disembodied command shatters the quiet. "Go. He is my chosen instrument." The words echo, a chilling declaration that seals a fate unknown, propelling a pawn into play. Inside a humble dwelling in Damascus, Ananias wrestles with fear and duty. His face a mask of inner turmoil. He rises with a heavy heart, each movement deliberate, betraying the conflict within. Taking a resolute breath, Ananias steels himself for the unknown. Ananias steps out into the bustling Damascus street. In Damascus's bustling streets, Ananias seeks Saul, the name causing wary reactions. Locating the house, he finds it subtly watched over by anxious disciples. Each inquiry is met with a flinch, a silent testament to Saul's shadowed reputation. The sun beats down as Ananias presses on, driven by a divine purpose despite the fear. The disciples' nervousness hangs heavy, a palpable tension in the Damascus air. In the humble dwelling, shadows dance, mirroring Saul's inner turmoil. Saul is hunched over, a picture of defeat in the dim light, his posture heavy with despair. Ananias enters cautiously, his footsteps barely audible on the worn floorboards. The room is cloaked in darkness, amplifying the sense of isolation and inner struggle. Compassion and apprehension mingle in Ananias' gaze as he approaches the burdened Saul. A silent plea hangs in the air as Ananias extends a hand towards the shadowed figure. Ananias stands tall, a beacon of hope in an unknown place. Saul trembles, his body racked with a visible, intense reaction. Ananias extends a hand, a gesture of comfort amidst Saul's fear. "Brother Saul," Ananias begins, his voice echoing in the space. "Jesus has sent me," he continues, his words carrying divine weight, "so that you may see again and be filled with the Holy Spirit," Ananias declares. Inside a humble dwelling in Damascus, Ananias extends his hands gently over Saul. The room is filled with anticipation as Ananias prepares to deliver a divine touch. A jolt of energy courses visibly through Saul, his body reacting with a slight, involuntary flinch. The air crackles with unseen power as Saul experiences a profound, transformative moment. Darkness clings to Saul's face, scales obscuring his vision in the dimly lit dwelling. A sudden, sharp intake of breath as the scales begin to crack, lines of light piercing through. The scales peel away, revealing eyes widening in disbelief and dawning awareness. Light explodes into Saul's eyes, a blinding wave washing over his newly restored sight. He gasps, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the light, reborn in a single, transformative moment. In the stark unknown, Saul gasps, his eyes widening in a moment of profound, newfound clarity. His hand reaches out tentatively, testing the boundaries of his newly perceived world with wonder. A look of utter disbelief and joy floods his face as his senses awaken. "I can see," Saul exclaims, his voice filled with awe and disbelief at the miracle unfolding. The light catches in his eyes, reflecting a universe of possibilities now open before him. In the ethereal light, Ananias gestures solemnly, water droplets shimmering like scattered jewels. The air hangs heavy with anticipation, each drop reflecting a moment of profound transformation. Ananias' voice resonates with quiet authority, a beacon of hope in the unknown location. "Now, be baptized and wash away your sins," he urges, his words echoing with divine purpose. A serene light bathes the scene, promising renewal and redemption through the sacred ritual. Inside the humble dwelling, shadows cling to the corners as Saul stirs, his body trembling, resolve hardening his gaze. He rises, a figure reborn from darkness, each movement measured with newfound purpose. Ananias watches, his presence a silent promise of guidance in the dimly lit room. Saul's eyes, once clouded by conviction, now reflect a glimmer of hope as he turns. With unwavering steps, Saul begins to follow Ananias, leaving behind the echoes of his past. The doorway beckons, a threshold to a future yet unknown. As Saul steps forward into the light, sunlight glints on the Damascus pool as Saul slips beneath the cool, inviting water, seeking solace. Submerged, the world above distorts, and the noise fades as Saul finds a moment of peace. The tranquil blue envelops him, washing away the harsh realities of the world above. Weightless and serene, Saul floats in silent contemplation, suspended between worlds. Saul rises from the Damascus pool, a gasp escaping his lips. Water streams down his face, mirroring a sense of renewal. The cool air hits his skin, a stark contrast to the water's embrace. He stands reborn, the weight of the past seemingly washed away. Beneath the Damascus sun, the pool reflects a transformed soul. Saul is gone, vanished like a mirage in the desert heat. From the water emerges Paul, reborn in faith and purpose. A servant of Christ stands where a persecutor once stood. Inside the Damascus synagogue, Paul enters, his determined presence immediately drawing every eye. He moves with unwavering purpose across the hallowed space, his gaze intense and resolute. A fervent light shines in his eyes, hinting at the powerful conviction that drives him. The air crackles with anticipation as all watch him. In an indeterminate location, Paul stands, the air thick with anticipation, as if the very space is holding its breath. The lighting casts long shadows, emphasizing the solitude of the figure. His eyes gleam with fervor, a stark contrast to the muted surroundings. Paul's voice echoes in the emptiness, filled with conviction and unwavering belief. Jesus is the Messiah, he proclaims, the declaration hanging in the silent air. Tension hangs heavy in the Damascus synagogue, the sacred space now a crucible of raw emotion. Faces in the crowd twist in disbelief, a silent scream of betrayal etched on every line. The shock gives way to anger, features contorting as outrage begins to consume them. Murmurs ripple through the crowd, an undercurrent of discontent threatening to erupt. The rising tide of voices escalates into shouts, a chorus of cries tearing through the hallowed hall. The synagogue vibrates with the collective fury, the air thick with palpable animosity. In an unknown location, a solitary figure, Paul, stands resolute, his expression radiant with unwavering faith. His face is illuminated, reflecting an inner fire that burns with zealous conviction. The light catches in his eyes, emphasizing the depth of his unwavering belief. Paul's voice rings out, clear and strong, cutting through the silence with divine certainty. He is the Son of God, Paul declares, his words echoing with the weight of his profound revelation. His stance is unyielding, a beacon of faith in a world shrouded in doubt, as he proclaims his truth. Inside the Damascus synagogue, Paul's voice echoes, resonating with newfound conviction. He preaches with increasing fervor, his words cutting through the silence. The air is thick with anticipation as his audience listens intently. A transformation unfolds. The hunter now stands as the hunted. His eyes burn with passion, reflecting the depth of his conversion. The synagogue becomes a crucible, forging a new destiny. Under a merciless sun, the desert stretches endlessly, a canvas of scorching sand under a pale, cloudless sky. Heat shimmers above the dunes, creating a mirage that dances just out of reach. The horizon blurs, an indistinct line between earth and sky in the oppressive heat. Silence blankets the desolate landscape, broken only by the whisper of the wind. The desert, unforgiving and vast, tests the limits of endurance, a landscape where survival is a daily battle against the elements. Under the scorching sun, Saul leads armed zealots down the road to Damascus, their faces hardened with grim purpose. Dust billows from the hooves of their horses, a tangible symbol of their relentless mission. Each rider's stern gaze is fixed ahead, unwavering resolve etched into their expressions. The road stretches before them, promising a confrontation that will test the limits of their faith. Under the relentless sun, a desert stretches endlessly, its sands shimmering with heat and mystery. Saul, a warrior etched with determination, stands atop a dune, a beacon of resolve against the harsh landscape. His hardened gaze sweeps over his men, their armor glinting, their faces set with grim purpose. Saul's voice booms across the sands, a rallying cry to his warriors. "We ride for Damascus!" A collective resolve hardens their features as they prepare for the coming battle. "The enemies of God will face our wrath," Saul declares, his words echoing with divine vengeance and steel. Under the scorching sun on the road to Damascus, Saul's face is a mask of fanatical zeal. Sweat beads on his brow, a testament to his fervent mission. Each drop reflects the intensity of his conviction. His eyes burn with unwavering purpose. Under the relentless sun, The group trudges along the ancient path, their figures small against the vast, arid landscape. Dust devils dance in the distance, mocking their slow progress toward the shimmering horizon. Damascus appears as a mirage, its white walls and minarets promising an end to their weary journey. Hope flickers in their eyes as they fix their gaze upon the distant city, a beacon in the desolate expanse. Each step is a testament to their resolve, driven by the allure of rest and sanctuary in the ancient city. On the sun-drenched road to Damascus, horses gallop, their riders focused and resolute. A sudden, blinding light erupts from the heavens, an unexpected celestial phenomenon. The horses rear up in terror, their hooves pounding the earth in a frantic dance of fear. Riders struggle to maintain control, their faces etched with surprise and alarm. The landscape is momentarily bathed in an ethereal glow, transforming the familiar into the surreal. An unnatural hush falls, broken only by the panicked cries of the animals and the wind. On the road to Damascus, Saul is violently thrown from his horse, a cloud of dust erupting around him. He crashes to the ground, his body contorted from the sudden, brutal impact. The air is thick with dust as Saul lies motionless, the silence deafening after the chaos. His eyes remain closed as he struggles, the weight of the fall heavy upon him. On the sun-baked road to Damascus, an unnatural light flares, searing the landscape. The light intensifies, becoming blinding. Saul squints, struggling against the overwhelming brightness. He raises a hand, a futile attempt to shield his eyes from the divine radiance. The light pierces through his eyelids, an inescapable, all-encompassing presence. Darkness, absolute, consuming. Only a single shaft of light pierces the void, its source a hidden mystery. An echoing voice reverberates, filling the emptiness with an unsettling resonance. The light seems to intensify, revealing nothing, yet promising everything. The voice booms, demanding attention, laced with an otherworldly authority. Saul, why do you persecute me? The question hangs heavy in the air, unanswered, accusatory. The light flickers, as if reacting to the voice, adding a layer of uncertainty to the profound dark. On the road to Damascus, Saul collapses, a figure humbled against the vast, unforgiving earth. His body trembles, a visible testament to the unseen force that has struck him down. He gazes up, a blinding light searing his eyes, his face etched with awe and terror. The intensity of the moment hangs heavy, a profound transformation beginning. An unknown location, shrouded in gloom. A lone figure stands silhouetted in shadow. Dust motes swirl and dance, caught in the single ray of light piercing the darkness. The air hangs heavy with anticipation, the silence broken only by the soft whisper of unseen forces. A voice, hesitant yet filled with awe, echoes through the chamber. Who are you, Lord? The figure remains still, an enigma wrapped in shadow, as if the very air awaits an answer. The scene erupts in a blinding light, overwhelming the senses, leaving the viewer in a state of anticipation. From the radiant void, a voice booms, resonating with divine authority and mystery. The voice, disembodied yet commanding, cuts through the silence, challenging the very foundations of belief. The echoing words linger, a profound declaration hanging in the air. I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. The light pulses, intensifying the moment as the viewer is left to ponder the weight of the voice's revelation. On the dusty road to Damascus, Saul is struck by an unseen force, his body reeling from the impact. Overwhelmed, Saul trembles violently, his face contorted in a mix of fear and awe. Tears stream down Saul's face as he grapples with the profound revelation. He is completely humbled, all strength and conviction drained from his collapsing form. The stark landscape around Saul seems to mirror his inner turmoil and transformation. Saul weeps, a broken man confronted by a divine truth on the road to Damascus. In stark, Isolation. Saul stands, his brow deeply furrowed, a silent question etched on his face. He shifts, the weight of expectation heavy on his shoulders. The air crackles with unspoken tension as he awaits a reply. His voice barely a whisper, Saul asks, "What do you want me to do?" An intense, blinding light dominates the scene, obscuring all but the vaguest outlines of the surroundings. A lone figure stands silhouetted against the overwhelming radiance, their features completely hidden from view. The very air seems to crackle with an unseen immense energy, adding to the scene's palpable tension. A disembodied voice echoes from beyond the light, commanding attention and obedience. "Go to Damascus." The voice booms, an ethereal directive cutting through the blinding light. Under the blazing sun on the road to Damascus, the light suddenly dims, blinding Saul. Saul cries out, his hands outstretched, grasping at the sudden, all-consuming darkness. He stumbles, a powerful man reduced to helplessness in an instant. Confusion ripples through Saul's followers as their leader collapses. The men rush to Saul's side, their faces etched with concern and bewilderment. They gather around him, a protective circle against the unseen force that struck him down. Blinding light fades as Saul lies prone on the dusty road, his world turned upside down in an instant. Gasping, Saul struggles against the sudden darkness, his eyes useless, his body trembling. His loyal men rush to his side, their faces etched with concern as they help their leader to his feet. Supporting Saul between them, they form a somber procession, guiding him towards the distant city. The road to Damascus stretches endlessly before them, a path now shrouded in uncertainty and foreboding. Each step is a testament to Saul's vulnerability, his mighty presence diminished by an unseen force. Under the scorching sun, Damascus's streets pulse with life, a symphony of voices rising from the bustling crowds. Amidst the city's clamor, a humble dwelling stands as a sanctuary of faith. Inside, Ananias kneels, his face uplifted in fervent prayer, seeking divine guidance from above. A quiet devotion amidst the lively streets. In the dim light of his home, Ananias kneels, his posture humble before a simple altar. Candlelight flickers, casting a soft, ethereal glow upon his earnest face. His hands are clasped tightly, a silent prayer escaping his lips. The room is still, save for the gentle crackle of the flame. A sanctuary. Shadows dance around him, amplifying the solemnity of the moment. He is lost in devotion, seeking guidance in the quiet of his home. Darkness. Absolute silence. A void where nothing exists. A faint whisper disturbs the stillness, an echo from an unknown source. The silence deepens, amplifying the anticipation of what's to come. A disembodied voice pierces the darkness, sharp and resonant. The voice calls out a single name, Ananias. Filled with mystery, the echo fades, leaving only the weight of the unanswered call. Ananias whirls around, eyes wide with a mix of surprise and dawning fear, as if startled by a ghost. He scans the empty space, his heart pounding in his chest, the silence amplifying his growing unease. His voice trembles, a whispered plea breaking the stillness as he calls out into the void. "Lord," he asks, his voice barely audible, seeking confirmation in the echoing emptiness. An unknown location is filled with an echoing void. A disembodied voice fills the emptiness. The voice resonates, its origin a mystery. "Go to Straight Street," the voice commands from afar. The voice continues, "and find Saul of Tarsus." The voice concludes, he is praying. In a dimly lit space, Ananias trembles, his face slick with sweat, fear etched deeply into his features. His voice, a mere whisper, barely audible in the oppressive silence, betrays his inner turmoil. "Lord, I have heard much about this man," he begins, his words laced with palpable dread. The weight of his words hangs heavy as he continues. He persecutes your followers. Each syllable is a testament to his terror, painting a vivid picture of the danger he perceives. A solitary beam of light pierces the gloom, illuminating the space, the air heavy with unspoken anticipation. The light reveals dust motes dancing in the silence, highlighting the emptiness, a stage set for destiny. An unseen power resonates, hinting at forces beyond comprehension. A disembodied voice echoes, a celestial decree hanging in the air. Go, he is my chosen instrument, to proclaim my name to the Gentiles and their kings, the voice commands. Inside his home, Ananias is caught in a silent battle, his face etched with fear and doubt, brow deeply furrowed. He grapples with the necessity of obedience, his internal conflict raging. A deep-seated terror grips his heart, an invisible force making his hands tremble. His eyes reflect inner turmoil. In his humble home, Ananias rises with purpose, a new dawn breaking through the window. He gathers his cloak, the fabric worn but clean, a testament to his simple life. Ananias pauses, a moment of silent prayer passing over his face. He steps out into the bustling streets, the sounds of the city washing over him. Ananias sets his course towards Straight Street, his resolve firm. Amidst the bustling streets of Damascus, Saul is guided forward, his blindness a stark vulnerability. The city's vibrant chaos contrasts sharply with Saul's helpless dependence, a visual testament to his plight. Each step is a testament to his reliance on others, a stark portrayal of lost independence. The crowded streets, once familiar, now loom as an obstacle. The sounds and scents of Damascus swirl around him, a world he can no longer fully perceive. Under the harsh Damascus sun, a sea of faces turns toward Saul, shock and recognition warring in their eyes. A ripple of whispers courses through the crowded streets, the murmurs swirling like a gathering storm. The name Saul hangs unspoken in the air, heavy with the weight of his past deeds. Each face reflects a story of fear and resentment, their collective gaze a palpable force. Saul stands alone, the center of a silent accusation that echoes through the ancient city. The weight of their judgment bears down on him, the persecutor, now the persecuted. Ananias arrives at Straight Street in Damascus, a bustling scene of daily life unfolding around him. He pauses, his gaze sweeping across the faces of passers-by, a sense of purpose in his eyes. Ananias begins to inquire, his voice carrying over the noise of the street, seeking information about Saul. Each question hangs in the air as Ananias searches for Saul among the vibrant chaos. Under the blazing sun, Damascus's Straight Street bustles with life. A local resident gestures, his hand pointing down a crowded alleyway. The camera follows the line of his finger, hinting at a hidden destination. The narrow street pulses with the sounds of merchants and passers-by. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by the harsh sunlight. A sense of anticipation builds as the camera moves toward an unseen house. In a darkened room, Saul sits alone, shadows clinging to the corners, enveloping him in solitude and mystery. Dust motes dance in the faint light, illuminating the silent vigil of a man consumed by prayer and fasting. His face, gaunt and drawn, reflects the intensity of his spiritual devotion, a testament to his unwavering faith. The room is still, save for Saul's silent prayers, the weight of his contemplation palpable in the heavy air. In Damascus, inside a simple house, Ananias hesitates at the doorway. He steps inside, his movements careful, each footfall measured and silent. The room is dimly lit, casting long shadows that dance with his unease. His heart pounds in his chest, a drumbeat against the quiet of the room. He scans the space, his eyes searching, fear etched upon his face. In the dim room, shadows dance as Ananias pauses at the threshold, his heart pounding with anticipation and fear. He scans the room, his gaze sweeping across the gloom. Each corner holds an untold story, each shadow a potential threat. His voice, barely a whisper, echoes in the stillness. "Saul," he calls out, his voice soft as a prayer. The name hangs in the air, a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. In the dim expanse, a lone figure stands, swallowed by shadows and mystery. The air crackles with anticipation, the silence broken only by unseen breaths. A subtle turn of the head, a shift in stance, hints at the figure's unease. Saul's voice cuts through the darkness, a challenge and a question. Who is it? The question hangs, unanswered, as the figure remains shrouded, an enigma in the gloom. Inside the house in Damascus, a moment of profound silence hangs in the air. Ananias gently places his hands upon Saul's head, his touch filled with purpose. Saul bows his head, anticipation etched on his face. A soft light fills the room, illuminating the weight of this divine encounter. The air crackles with unseen energy as the blessing is bestowed. Hope and destiny converge in this intimate moment of healing and transformation. A blinding light engulfs the room, washing every surface with its radiant glow. Saul's eyes widen in disbelief, his face contorted in a mix of shock and awe. His hands instinctively rise, shielding his face from the intense brightness. The light intensifies, causing scales to visibly flake and fall away from Saul's eyes. Each falling scale marks a shedding of the old, revealing a newfound clarity. Saul's expression shifts, a dawning sense of wonder replacing his initial fear. Saul's eyes flutter open, his vision returning like a sunrise after a long night. He blinks, the world sharpening into focus, filled with vibrant colors and defined shapes. A gasp escapes his lips as newfound clarity washes over him, a sense of wonder in his gaze. "I can see," Saul exclaims, his voice filled with a mixture of disbelief and elation. His hands tremble as he reaches out, tentatively touching the world he had thought lost forever. Tears well in his eyes, reflecting the light and the miracle of sight restored. Inside the Damascus house, a wave of relief washes over Ananias, his face lighting up with uncontainable joy. His eyes sparkle with renewed hope. A genuine, heartfelt smile spreads across Ananias's face, erasing the lines of worry. He seems lighter, as if a burden has been lifted from his soul. The room is filled with silent gratitude. Ananias looks hopeful. Ananias gestures and light dances on the basin's water, an invitation shimmering in the dim space. The water reflects the hope, a cleansing promise in its depths. Ananias's voice resonates with solemnity and anticipation. "Now, be baptized and wash away your sins, calling on his name," Ananias declares, his eyes reflecting divine purpose. Under the radiant Damascus sun, a peaceful river winds its way through the landscape, its surface shimmering with light. Ananias gently guides Saul, the river's gentle murmur filling the air around them. The water reflects the sky, a serene mirror to the unfolding destiny. A moment of quiet reflection by the riverbank, hope and trepidation mingling in the warm air. The tranquil river flows on, a silent witness to the profound transformation about to occur. Under the bright Damascus sun, Ananias lowers Saul into the flowing river. Water envelops Saul, washing away the past as he is fully immersed. Saul rises from the river, water cascading from his hair, a new light in his eyes. He emerges, reborn, ready to face a world transformed. Saul rises from the river, water cascading from his revitalized form. His face radiates an almost blinding light, reflecting an inner transformation. The river flows gently around him, a symbol of purification and rebirth. His eyes, once filled with conflict, now shine with newfound clarity. Transformed, he stands tall, a vessel now filled with the Holy Spirit. The air around him shimmers with an unseen, powerful energy. Beside the flowing river, Saul turns towards Ananias, his face illuminated with an inner light. A profound sense of understanding dawns in Saul's eyes. Gratitude washes over Saul, as he prepares to embrace Ananias. Saul's arms open wide, a gesture of acceptance and newfound peace. Ananias meets Saul's embrace, a silent exchange of forgiveness and hope. The river flows on, witnessing the transformation of Saul in Damascus. By the Damascus River, Saul, now Paul, halts, the sun glinting off the water's surface and reflecting in his intense gaze. The river flows, mirroring the currents of change within him. His eyes, pools of unwavering resolve, reflect a future forged in faith. A profound transformation etches itself onto his face, a silent vow to a new path. Inside the Damascus synagogue, Paul steps into a space thick with history. Echoes of his past self linger in the air. He walks through the hall, a man once known as a persecutor. His presence stirs silent memories. The Damascus synagogue buzzes with hushed whispers, anticipation hanging heavy in the air. Every eye in the synagogue turns towards the entrance, a silent judgment passing through the crowd. Paul enters, his figure framed by the doorway, a stark silhouette against the bright light. A palpable tension grips the room as Paul walks forward, each step measured and deliberate. The murmuring ceases, replaced by a heavy silence as Paul faces the congregation, his gaze unwavering. In an unknown place, a lone figure stands, their resolve unyielding, a beacon of conviction against the stark backdrop. The air vibrates with unspoken tension, each breath held, each heartbeat echoing the gravity of the moment. A declaration is about to be made, a truth to be proclaimed, cutting through the silence like a sword. Jesus is the Son of God, Paul cries, his voice ringing with faith and defiance. The figure remains steadfast, their words hanging in the air, challenging the very foundations of the unknown. Inside the synagogue, the very air vibrates with unspoken tension, a prelude to the storm brewing within. Faces, contorted with disbelief and a simmering rage, reflect the turmoil of shattered faith and broken trust. A low murmur sweeps through the crowd, a rising tide of discontent threatening to engulf the sacred space. The murmurs intensify, morphing into angry shouts that echo off the ancient walls, a chorus of protest. A cacophony of voices erupts, each cry a shard of anger piercing the heart of the synagogue. Inside the Damascus synagogue, tension rises as Paul's voice echoes through the sacred space. Members of the congregation stir, their faces a mixture of disbelief and anger. Despite attempts to silence him, Paul stands firm, his conviction unwavering. His words hang in the air, challenging the traditions and beliefs of those gathered. Torches flicker, casting shadows across the synagogue as incense mixes with rising anger. Paul stands amidst the congregation, faces contorted with rage where friendship once resided. The air is thick with unspoken accusations, the silence amplifying the imminent storm. Each face tells a story of betrayal, their expressions a stark contrast to the sacred space. Hushed whispers ripple through the crowded synagogue as nervous glances dart around, a storm of unease brewing. Amidst the throng, Paul moves with intense conviction, his face a canvas of determination shadowed by apprehension. The weight of his mission etches deeper lines into his face as he navigates the sea of worried faces. Forced to flee Damascus, Paul's urgent departure hangs heavy in the air. Under the flickering torchlight of Damascus, shadows dance as figures move with hushed urgency. Paul's face is a mask of resolve as the woven basket begins its descent. The imposing city walls loom, a silent barrier against the night. Rough rope strains, a testament to the weight of faith and determination. Muffled whispers above are the only sound as Paul is lowered into the darkness. Dust billows around Paul's sandals as he strides along the ancient road, a lone figure against the vast, sun-baked countryside. His arms move with fervor, each gesture underscoring the passion in his voice as he preaches to the wind. The desert wind carries his message, a beacon of hope across the arid landscape. He seeks to spread the gospel of Jesus, his voice a powerful force in the stillness of the Damascus countryside. Under the scorching sun, Saul advances, his men trailing behind across the vast desert. The relentless wind whips at their faces, each gust carrying the sting of sand and the weight of their grim purpose. His eyes, narrowed against the glare, reflect a burning hatred that seems as boundless as the desert itself. Lines of fury are etched deep into Saul's face. He leads them onward, a figure of relentless determination. On the road to Damascus, a blinding light explodes, casting an ethereal glow across the ancient path. Saul reels, shielding his eyes from the overwhelming radiance, his face etched with shock and confusion. From the heart of the light, a voice booms, shaking the very foundations of the earth. The divine question pierces the air. "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" Saul trembles, the weight of the words crashing down upon him, forever altering the course of his destiny. Dim light filters into Ananias's humble home, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Ananias kneels, his kind face etched with intense concentration as he clasps his hands tightly in prayer. Sunlight paints a serene portrait as Ananias closes his eyes, seeking divine guidance in the quiet solitude. His face softens, a gentle smile gracing his lips as peace washes over him in the dimly lit room. Soft light bathes the room as Ananias, his face gentle, lays hands on Saul. Saul winces, eyes tightly shut, then slowly begins to blink, a flicker of returning sight. Vision blurs, then sharpens. Saul's eyes widen, taking in the room with awe. Confusion and wonder mix on his face as sight returns after days of darkness. Sunlight dances on the river. A young Saul stands waist deep, his face reflecting both apprehension and a fragile hope. Ananias places a reassuring hand on Saul's shoulder, a silent promise of change in the flowing river. Water streams from Ananias's hand, a symbol of cleansing as it cascades over Saul's head. Saul gasps, a profound moment of transformation etched on his face as he is baptized. His eyes widen, reflecting a world seen anew, the past washing away with the river's current. The river flows on, carrying away the old as Saul emerges, forever changed by the touch of faith. Inside the packed Damascus synagogue, a palpable mix of curiosity and animosity fills the ancient space. At the bima, Paul's voice resonates with fervent conviction, challenging the core beliefs of the gathered crowd. He speaks of a Messiah, not of earthly triumph, but of profound suffering and sacrifice. An uncomfortable silence descends as his provocative words seep into the listeners' minds. Former allies and friends now regard Paul with hardening expressions, their faces etched with betrayal. The very air vibrates with mounting tension, threatening to shatter the sacred tranquility. Under the vast Damascus sky, the countryside stretches endlessly before Paul. His gaze sweeps across the horizon, a mixture of longing and resolve in his eyes. The sun beats down, highlighting the lines of determination etched deeply into his face. A solitary figure against the expansive landscape, Paul stands firm. The wind whispers tales of the past as he prepares to face the future. In a stark, unknown location, sunlight bathes Paul in its golden glow, highlighting the resolve etched on his face. The light illuminates his determined eyes. A single window serves as the source of light. He stands alone, a solitary figure. "I must continue to spread the word of Jesus," Paul declares, his voice ringing with conviction. "No matter the cost," he adds, his gaze unwavering, fixed on a distant horizon. Against Damascus's vibrant skyline, Paul strides, his silhouette etched sharply by the setting sun. The horizon beckons as Paul walks, each step deliberate, into the fading light. Colors explode across the sky, a fiery backdrop to Paul's solitary journey. His figure, a dark contrast to the brilliant hues, moves towards an unknown destiny. The vast countryside mirrors the scale of his quest, vast and transformative. Each step resonates with purpose, a stark figure against the fading embrace of day. Under the scorching desert sun, Saul's zealots advance, their faces grim, weapons glinting menacingly. A relentless march across the barren landscape, each step echoing with a silent promise of violence. Dust devils dance around them, mirroring the turmoil brewing within their hearts. The air crackles with anticipation, a storm of conflict about to break over the desolate plains. Each warrior is a vessel of unwavering faith, ready to unleash fury in Saul's name. In a realm of shadows, Saul stands, his form barely visible amidst the flickering torchlight. Flames dance around him, casting eerie shadows that accentuate the intensity of his gaze. His eyes burn with zealous conviction, reflecting the inferno of his beliefs. Saul's face, illuminated by the flickering light, reveals a man consumed by unwavering faith. His voice echoes through the darkness, a declaration of war against those he deems heretics. No mercy for the heretics. We will cleanse this land, Saul proclaims, his words hanging in the air. Under a merciless sun, the desert shimmers with oppressive heat, the light blinding and unforgiving. Cloaked zealots scatter in disarray, their figures stark against the endless canvas of sand. Terror grips them as they run, their shouts swallowed by the vast, indifferent emptiness. Confusion reigns, each zealot a solitary silhouette in a landscape of despair and blinding light. Under the merciless desert sun, Saul collapses, writhing helplessly in the sand. Blinded, his body convulses as if struck by an unseen force. He cries out, a sound swallowed by the vast, indifferent landscape. Alone and vulnerable, Saul's world has become a blinding, agonizing void. Alone in his humble dwelling, Ananias wrestles with inner turmoil, his face a canvas of conflict and doubt. His hands clench and unclench, mirroring the battle raging within him, a visible sign of his struggle. Fear weighs heavily in the small room, a palpable presence as he confronts a daunting divine call. His furrowed brow speaks volumes, a silent testament to the profound weight of obligation pressing upon him. In the dim light, Ananias kneels, his head bowed low, a silent plea etched on his face. Shadows dance around him, mirroring the turmoil within as his hands clench tighter. Fear and confusion war within him, a visible struggle in the depths of his eyes. A desperate question hangs in the air, a plea for understanding and guidance. Lord, why me? He whispers, his voice trembling with doubt and trepidation. Why send me to this man? He asks, his words echoing in the silent chamber. Inside the Damascus house, shadows cling to the walls as Ananias enters the dimly lit room. Saul waits, a figure shrouded in anticipation within the subdued light. Ananias gazes upon Saul, his face etched with deep compassion. The weight of unspoken understanding hangs heavy in the air. Inside the Damascus house, Ananias extends a hand towards Saul, his touch gentle and filled with purpose. A visible light emanates from Ananias, flowing into Saul like a tangible river of healing. The room is filled with an ethereal glow, highlighting the profound moment of restoration. The light pulses, a silent testament to the miraculous connection between the two men. The cool river embraces Saul, now Paul, as he fully submerges, letting the flowing waters envelop him. Eyes closed, he surrenders to the moment, a serene peace gradually softening his features. The river flows around him, carrying away the remnants of his past, each ripple a whisper of forgiveness. He emerges, cleansed, reborn in the tranquil waters, his expression radiant with newfound serenity. The river reflects the Damascus sun, mirroring the dawn of a new spiritual journey for Paul. Paul rises from the river, water cascading from his face, a beacon of newfound peace shining in his eyes. The Damascus sun reflects off the river, mirroring the spiritual awakening in Paul's soul. His silhouette emerges against the bright skyline, symbolizing his transformation. Each breath fills him anew, the Holy Spirit coursing through his veins. He is reborn, a vessel, ready to carry his message. The river flows on, carrying away his past, leaving only the promise of his future. Inside the Damascus synagogue, an echoing silence hangs heavy as Paul stands before the stunned congregation. His figure is bathed in the soft light filtering through stained glass, a stark contrast to the turmoil in their eyes. Every word resonates with an impassioned conviction, challenging their beliefs and shattering their expectations. The air crackles with unspoken tension as his voice fills the sacred space, a powerful declaration of newfound faith. Chaos erupts within the Damascus synagogue, shouts echoing off the ancient walls as benches are overturned in a surge of fury. Amidst the pandemonium, Paul stands firm, his face etched with shock and a dawning sense of betrayal. The faces of his former allies twist with rage, their features distorted by animosity. A wave of furious figures advances towards Paul, their eyes blazing with intense hatred. The air crackles with tension as Paul is cornered, his past camaraderie now a distant memory. Under the cover of night, Paul makes his silent escape. The towering gates of Damascus, a stark backdrop to his clandestine departure. Each step is measured, each breath controlled, as he moves like a shadow through the darkened streets. The massive gates loom ominously, symbols of the world he leaves behind, a past he can no longer claim. The air hangs heavy with the weight of his mission, an unseen burden pressing down on his shoulders. Danger lurks in every darkened alleyway, a constant threat to his newfound path. His escape is swift, a desperate flight into the unknown, driven by faith and a burning conviction. Across the Damascus countryside, Paul walks with purpose, a man reborn. His eyes, once shadowed by doubt, now shine with unwavering faith. A resolute figure against the vast landscape, he carries a divine mission. He sets forth, determined to spread the word of Jesus to the world. Under the merciless sun, the desert stretches endlessly, mirroring the barren landscape of Saul's soul. Heat shimmers off the dunes, a tangible representation of spiritual desolation. The vast emptiness presses in, reflecting the profound void within Saul. Each grain of sand whispers of lost hope and forgotten faith. Under the relentless sun, the road to Damascus unfolds, an endless ribbon promising trials and transformation. Dust devils dance across the barren landscape, mirroring the turmoil within Paul's soul. Each step Paul takes echoes against the silence, a solitary march toward destiny. The distant horizon blurs, a hazy promise of the revelations that await him. Shadows lengthen, whispering secrets of the past and portents of the future. The road beckons, an invitation to confront his beliefs and embrace a new path. Inside his humble home, Ananias kneels, his head bowed in reverence, hands clasped tightly in prayer. A gentle light bathes his face, highlighting the sincerity etched in his features as he communes with God. Silent gratitude fills the room as he reflects on the profound miracle he has just witnessed. The weight of divine intervention settles upon him, a moment of quiet reflection and unwavering faith. Sunlight glints off the river, each ripple a spark of light as the river flows through Damascus. The river's steady flow mirrors Paul's spiritual rebirth, washing away the past. Water reflects the sky, a moving mirror reflecting newfound clarity. The current carries leaves and debris, symbols of old burdens now released. The river's edge is lined with green, vibrant with new life and growth. The river flows on, an eternal symbol of change and purification. Sunlight streams through the high windows of the empty synagogue, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The heavy silence amplifies the emptiness, a stark symbol of division and conflict. The sanctuary stands deserted, a somber reflection of Paul's divisive impact. Golden light catches the empty benches, highlighting the absence of community and faith. The weight of unspoken prayers and shattered unity fills the desolate space. Under the vast Damascus sky, Paul begins his solitary walk, each step carrying the weight of unspoken hope. The sun casts long shadows, etching the determination on his face as he moves towards the distant horizon. Rolling hills stretch out before him, a silent witness to his journey, each contour whispering promises of change. Dust swirls around his worn sandals, marking the path of a man driven by conviction and a yearning for a new dawn. The air is still, heavy with anticipation, as if the very landscape holds its breath, awaiting Paul's next move. He continues onward, a lone figure against the expansive backdrop, embodying the quiet strength of unwavering belief. In the vast countryside near Damascus, Paul raises his hands to the heavens, a silhouette against the radiant sky. His face is tilted upwards, bathed in the sun's golden light, as if receiving a divine blessing. The wind whispers softly through his garments, a gentle caress accompanying his solemn prayer. He stands firm, a beacon of faith amidst the rolling hills, offering a prayer of gratitude. A profound sense of dedication emanates from him, resonating with the serene landscape. The countryside watches in silent reverence as Paul dedicates himself to his sacred cause. Under the vast Damascus sky, Paul continues his journey. His silhouette is a lonely figure against the rolling hills. The sun beats down upon the dusty road. Each step is a testament to his unwavering faith. He is a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in darkness.